Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be going over connecting Open Manage Enterprise to Dell Digital Locker in order to view unbound licenses and entitlements. We'll also go through the process of binding and deploying the available licenses. In order to connect to Dell Online, we must have access to an active Dell account that contains available unbound licenses. The Open Manage Enterprise user logged in must have a role of administrator or device manager, and the appliance must have internet access to reach Dell Digital Locker. Device port, protocols, and firewall exceptions can be found in the Open Manage Enterprise User Guide under the Deployment Prerequisites section. To connect to Dell Online, we'll start by selecting Configuration, then Entitlements. On the Entitlement screen, click Connect to Dell Online. The Connect to Dell Digital Locker wizard pops up with an activation code, as well as a link to authorize the connection to Dell Digital Locker. As noted, the activation code is valid for 5 minutes. If the activation code is not used within 5 minutes, a new code can be attained by simply clicking Connect to Dell Online again once the previous code expires. Clicking the verification link will open a new browser tab. If you've not already logged into Dell.com, you'll be prompted with a login screen. The activation code should auto-populate. You can verify the code matches the one shown on the Open Manage Enterprise appliance. Once we've confirmed that's the activation code, we can click Activate Device. We can head back over to our Open Manage Enterprise appliance. And once we've successfully authenticated, a job task is created named Connect to Dell Digital Locker Task. Once the entitlements have populated, we can see the license name, type, description, term, and total count of licenses available. Only perpetual licenses are available for the binding operation. The connection to Dell Online will stay active for 24 hours unless the disconnect from Dell Online button is pressed. Moving on to the bind process, we'll select the license to be bound and click Bind. The license binding wizard is displayed. From the bind option dropdown, you can either select bind or bind and deploy. Selecting the bind option will bind the entitlements to the device service tags and generate a deployable license. Once the job task is completed, the newly bound licenses are available to deploy from the licenses page. The bind and deploy option will first bind the entitlement to the target service tag and then deploy the license automatically. Both options will create a job task that can be found in the jobs page. We'll go over both processes, but first we'll start with the bind option. Click Select Devices. The devices displayed are service tags eligible for the license deployment. Selecting all devices across pages is not supported. However, you can select all devices from within each page. The total number of devices selected is limited by the available license count. So once the available license count is reached in number of devices selected, no further devices can be selected. We'll go ahead and select our device to bind and click OK. Our bind option is set to bind and we'll click Finish. The bind operation job is tasked. Once the task is completed, we can now see the newly bound license in the Licenses tab. The Licenses tab can be found under Configuration and Licenses. Licenses that have not been deployed are labeled as No under the Deployed column, as well as being colored status blue, deployable. To deploy the license to the device, select the license and click Deploy. We can confirm the bound service tag, license type, and click Deploy again. The Install License Task job has been created. Once the license is deployed, the license entitlement will show up with a green status as deployed, as well as a yes under the deployed column. The bind and deploy option will follow the same process, except it will eliminate the step of having to manually deploy the license afterwards. We'll follow the same process as before. Select our license to bind, click Bind, select our device, click OK. And for the bind option, we'll select Bind and Deploy. Click Finish. The job task is created and can be monitored for progress. Once the task has been completed, we can review the licenses page and see that the license has been automatically deployed. After any successful license deployment, the device inventory is refreshed automatically and the license is displayed on the license page here. That concludes using Connect to Dell Online for binding and deploying licenses. Thank you.